Good evening everyone and welcome to the Esports Mini League. This is Mini League 2. We are here for round 3 of the championship in Germany, and don't worry because we have got Singapore for you covered as well, and that will be starting at 7:45. So if you are tuning in for a two streams here tonight, then you are in the right place, because I am James Head and I'm going to be taking you through the action here tonight at the Hockenheimring in Germany. Of course, we've got 2 tracks tonight for the Mini League. We've got Germany first, which starts at 7 o'clock, so only about 7 minutes or so for everyone out on track, and then we are back for Singapore at 7:45, and then I'll get up the other stream for that. Hopefully everyone keeping well tonight. Of course, Mini League 2 last week, PMP really dominated affairs with their consistency, and they lead the way in the Mini League on 133 points. TTL Esports is in second on 101, the Norwegian team, with TTG Academy in third on 81, Nexus Esports in fourth on 65, and OWR in fifth on 49 points. They are the points as I stand, and I will try and get an updated version for you of after race 1 as well. But PMP currently leading the way with 133 points, TNR say on 101. It is literally all to play for these drivers once again. Very familiar names within the lobby so far. We've got Vax Viking, Oli, Jeffrey, Vittino, PMP regular, I think that's a new driver for us this week, Lord Holton, Bear Remy, Tamburgo. We've also got Maze, Iceman and Kaseg in, currently Kaseg of course being the owner of PMP. And of course, just looking through the lineups of some of the teams, Nexus Esports, I think they've only got one driver here at the minute, and that is Iceman. Of course, they were represented last week by Chaos Aspects, Clone and Dynamic, I do believe it was the other driver if I'm not mistaken. So there might be a bit of a change in the lineups here tonight, but for TT Academy, we've got Jeffrey, Vittino, brand new signing to the Academy. For TTG, we've got Maze as well, and I do believe we have got another driver, that's King J, who's literally just joined at the right time there. So King J joining in the Belgian for his first race, I do believe, under the Academy branch. So good luck, of course, to Nexus, TTG, and indeed the all teams that we've got here tonight. OWR Esports, it's pretty much a very similar lineup to last week. It is the same lineup to last week. It's Vax Viking, Lord Holton, Bear Remy and Atlas Copo for OWR. TNL have got Oli, they've got Tamburgo, and let's have a look through the rest of the lobby. Z3 is also here. There's just 2 more drivers to be invited for them. We'll catch up with them in just a minute. And PMP Esports have got PMP regular. They've also got Kaseg in currently, and I did believe I saw Terror Racer in the lobby as well. He has just gone off, I think, to probably nick up a setup for tonight. So, taking then into Germany, the first German Grand Prix was actually held in 1970. There are 2 DRS zones, primarily on the straight between turns 1 and 2, which is the shorter of the DRS zones, only around 300 metres long, and then running through Parabolica through turn 4, through turn 5, and then up to the hairpin at turn 6. That is the technical back straight, as you like to call it, on this track, and that is where the second DRS zone is. There are very similar corners out on track. There are very variations. The average speed around this track around 230 kilometers an hour, so it will be pretty much foot to the limit out on track here tonight for the guys in the Mini League. And of course this is Mini League 2, and if you are expecting Mini League 1, well, you've came about an hour and a half early if you are expecting Mini League 1. But why don't you stick around and enjoy Mini League 2 in the meantime, because Kevin McGinley will be taking you through both Belgium and Japan for Mini League 1, as the likes of ILRT and the TTG main team in that as well. So that will be live at 8:30. So literally after I'm done, Kevin McGinley will be taking over the reins for Mini League 1 commentary. And of course we have got Singapore coming up as well. Just because we've got two different streams doesn't mean that we are going to be covering the both races. We will be, because we've got Germany on a separate stream and Singapore on a separate stream as well. So round 3 and 4, very similar to last week, and hopefully you guys are keeping well within the chat. I'm going to have a look actually at the chat to see how you guys are doing. With about 2 minutes to go, we have got 15 drivers currently in for their respective teams. So let me have a look then at some of the comments that have came through. And of course, if you are new to the mini league, please do subscribe to the channel. It does give us a real big effect, and if you want to see more mini leagues on the channel, and indeed hosted by us, by TTG, by the guys behind the scenes, please do so. Your support means everything, and I mean everything. It is the 7th time we have done the mini league here, and it is fascinating to find out how this is really going to be. Of course, PMP leading coming into tonight. Good evening to Storm. Good evening, Storm. Good evening, Mashiro. Maze, no penguins in the chat, come on. Conti coming in, showing his support for TTG. It should be a good race, yeah. Storm, I totally agree on that. He has joined PMP, which is good to see as well. And good luck to everyone, says TNR. And a one Mr. Toxic is also in the chat as well. TTG's brand new signing for the main team, and we do welcome him to the team as well, and he'll be very appreciative that I've just given him a shout out on the stream. Of course, I bear no bias towards any teams. I was calling it quite fairly last week. I will do the same here tonight, of course. Just because I'm affiliated to TTG doesn't mean I will be showing support to every other team. I will, because what the mini leagues tend to do, really bring the drivers together in one common cause, and that is to produce clean, competitive and fair racing out on track. Last week was a very good example of what the mini leagues can do to bring the F1 community together, and I've got to be honest, I'm fully expecting the drivers once again to put on a show for you guys in the chat and for myself as a commentator, and I can't wait for the action to unfold. But just getting the final couple of drivers coming in, I'll give you an update on some of the teams. TNR have added 2 to their lineup, it looks like, this evening. So they have got Frederick and Virus in, 2 Norwegians there for TNR. PMP have also joined up with a couple of their drivers. Kaseg is also in. Cam PMP is also in. PMP, Cam PMP, what a name that is, I've got to be honest. I will call you Cam, just for beneficiaries. I don't want to be saying the full name over the commentary. A regular as well for PMP. I think we're missing 1 PMP driver and 2 Nexus drivers at this stage. Aspects and Iceman currently in for Nexus. We'll have to have a look. Of course, if any teams are down drivers, please inform me in the chat so I can keep on top of things and I can update my list of drivers. Let's have a look at some of your comments then. Once again, coming in. Yeah, just say Cam. I will say Cam. I will be honest. I'm going to have to say. Good evening, James. Nice to see you. Good evening to you, Jeffrey. Hope you're doing well. And you are racing, of course. So good luck there out on track. 1.01 odds of Bear Remy being on pole position. Well, you never know. You never know. He could be on pole position. You never know, because at Hockenheim there are plenty of opportunities to pick up invalidated laps. It is going to be quite intriguing to see how this one-shot qualifying goes. Of course, 18 laps around Hockenheim. I've never had a bad race around here, and I don't expect that to change here tonight. Looking and seeing, yeah, it is good to see me on the stream as well. I'll be here taking you through Singapore as well from 7:45. We are just running a couple of minutes behind schedule. I do believe the last drivers are just getting into the lobby. But it does give me a good time to socialise with you guys and to give you a few facts about the Belgian track. That's last week. About the German track here at Hockenheim. Goodness me, I'm losing my marbles already. Let me tell you a few facts then about the German Grand Prix circuit. At the Hockenheim Ring, recently changed off the calendar as well. And of course, it is a very high speed circuit, this track. And the design of this track actually changed in 2002. Remember, if you watch old school Formula 1, they used to go out into the forest on this track, and it was looping around onto the Oscar and then back into the stadium section, which we'll come on to in just a little bit. The track was truncated and the cars shortly turning after turn 1. That is where the track has been changed. and bisecting towards the original track as well. 231 kilometers an hour average during Sebastian Vettel's pole lap in 2018, which is quite extraordinary if I've got to be honest. That in normal terms is about 165 mile an hour. If you're unfamiliar with kilometers and mile an hour, yeah, it's about 160, 165 mph. So that is going to be pretty much flat to the limit for these guys out on track. And it is, of course, good to see everyone showing the support for their respective teams. Of course, do keep it clean within the chat as well. And I know I am filling the time a little bit, so you might be thinking, well, he's just wandering on off subject. It's because we are still waiting for some of the drivers to come into the lobby. I did think we had, of course, obviously the F1 update has just taken place as well, the new 1.2 update here for Formula 1. I will be trialling out a new feature on this stream. That is the track map. There is a new track map feature that has been added into spectate mode. I can't wait for it because it will give you, instead of me looking at a track map on my iPad, I will try and get it up on the stream, but it will actually stop us looking at the telemetry and everything like that, which is a bit of a downer, but I'll try it out and see what you guys make of it. If you enjoy it, then I'll run it through the rest of my commentaries. If not, then obviously we can go back to the old-fashioned way. Yeah, I think we are probably running a couple of minutes behind schedule, as I say, for some of the drivers. Cam's just said he's only doing Germany. I'll be swapping out for try and catch for Singapore. Thank you very much for letting me know about that. It's Lord Hulton's birthday. Happy birthday to Lord Hulton. Hopefully he is going to be producing a good performance out on track, and what better way than to maybe even secure a win out on track for the OWR team. Of course, OWR are lagging a little bit behind within the standings, and if you are just tuning in, we are about to get started, so I'll remind you of the standings here tonight. Of course, I'm James Hay, going to be taking you through the action. PMP Esports lead on 133 points. 32 points behind is TNR Esports in second. Third is TTG Academy on 81, so further 20 points behind TNR. Nexus Esports in fourth on 65, only 16 points behind TTG Academy. And OWR, as I say, really needs to get some consistency about them for here in Germany and indeed in Singapore. They're on 49 points, and again 16 points behind Nexus Esports respectively. Here we go then. Mini League 2 about to begin. We are about 5 minutes behind schedule, but we should make that up for the second race for Singapore. It's just we're going to have a little bit of less time between the changing over of the streams. And in my typical fashion, I have got a drink with me for the stream. I have still got a bit of a sore throat. It is finally recovering though. I have got a bit of iron brew with me here tonight for Germany. And we are just waiting now for the drivers to join the session, and it looks actually very, very... The graphics don't look right at all. We are communicating with the online servers. Neon just joining in, so IRL Neon. Do believe he might be running for the Nexus team, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can confirm that for me in the chat. That'll be much appreciated. But everyone there readying up for the 30-second timer, or they're just sinking into the session actually. Of course, with a driver joining late, it does mess up the lobby just that little bit, but we will run here out on track in one-shot qualifying very soon. And of course, I will try and stick on board with this one driver that we will go on board with for a full lap of the track. I think last week it was one of the OWR drivers. I think it might have been Bear Remy last week. Hopefully, we might go on board with somebody different here tonight. You never know. The code will pick us up a driver out on track. Chaos just joining in as well. He's part of the Nexus team, so the Irishman joining in. So we are up to 19 drivers, I do believe, for tonight, representing their respective teams. I think PMP might be missing one driver. And speaking of PMP, beautiful timing. We are going on board with their lap, and we can go on board. Look at that with the mini map. Fantastic stuff indeed. Right, I'll get rid of, I'll try and not do this. There we go. So regular now through turn 2. I'm getting a bit used to the new track map on the right hand side, as you can see. 16 flat through the first sector for regular, and there he's now coming up towards through turn 5 a parabolica towards turn 6 at the hairpin. And this hairpin really you do have to brake very late on in the day, just after the 100-metre board, turning very nicely indeed. Regular running out wide, not really feeling the confidence through the corner. Now down towards turn 7 and towards the Mercedes-Benz grandstand. Iceman, Orneoli and Cassie are fighting out for the top spot at this stage. Regular now through turn 7 and turn 8 and 9 I should say. Now coming towards Sachs Curve towards turn 12. They'll dip in through turn 11 here. And PMP running a very nice orange livery on their multiplayer car. That was 52 I think through the middle sector. And again through Sachs Curve through 13, 14, 15. And then into 16 and 17. The final 2 corners here out on track at Hockenheim. That is a lap of Hockenheim with the new track map. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Orneoli has taken it from Nexus Iceman by only 500ths of a second. Few disqualifications. We'll try and pick up on everybody in just a second. So then, the full running down of qualifying is as follows. Orneoli takes it from Iceman. So TNR on top from Nexus in second. PMP represented with Cassie in third. Vitinho and Virus 4th and 5th with TTG and TNR respectively. King J in 6th for TTG as well. We've got a whole host of Norwegians following on. It's Frederick, Lord Hulton, Atlas Corporal, Tamburgo and Bear Remy filling out the top 11. So 2 TNR and 3 OWR drivers there. Maze in 12th. Regular, Vax Viking 13th and 14th. We did ride on board with regular, and Aspects finishing in 15th there as well. Jeffrey and Cam not setting any times. They must have picked them validations out on track. Tamburgo, interestingly enough, he's on a set of medium compound of tyres. Now he will obviously go from a set of mediums to a set of softs. This is a 25% race, so not really any bearing in mind on the strategy. It should only be one stop pretty much for every driver out on track here tonight at the Hockenheim Ring. And we have got 19 drivers in the session now, with Chaos and Neon joining in. I do believe, as I say, they are representing both Nexus. I'll have a look at some of your comments, see how you guys are doing before we get into the formation lap and we do get into the race. Of course, if you do want to make any predictions in the comments, your top 3, either with team predictions or with individual predictions, then put them in the comment section. Of course, do keep it clean within the comment section as well with your comments. Let's have a look at some of the guys. Just saying, I'm racing on my IRL Neon account since I have no access on my Nexus account. I thought that was the case. Having a look at some of the thingy. Orneoli, take my wife. He'll get some deserved sleep after this. Goodness me. I don't think taking your wife will be the best idea. That's all I'm going to say on that. 17 laps then for the drivers out on track, and we'll run on board with the mini map. We'll actually disable the track map and we'll just run on board with the normal telemetry and try this out for the race. TNR Z3 coming in with a TNR prediction. Orneoli for top, Frederick second and Tamburgo for third. Very, very bold stuff there from the TNR manager. He is known for smack it, lick it, send it, and he is known for his sleeping. Well, you never know what can happen out on track. As I say, we are coming through the first sector here on the formation lap, so let's talk through some of the guys that are on different strategies. Most of the bottom 9 drivers are on a set of soft compound of tyres. So 11th down to 14th, Bear Remy, Maze, regular Vax Viking on a set of softs. Remember, that's a fresh set of soft compound of tyres, not a worn set like the top 9 are showing. Tamburgo, of course, the exception rather than the rule, with a set of mediums there in 10th position. Also Cam, Neon and Chaos joining on a set of soft compound of tyres. Again, they will aim to go towards the medium compound of tyres, I would say around the halfway stage. Lap 7, lap 8, which is where you should be seeing some of the guys put in. They may choose to go towards lap 10, maybe, if some of them are very brave enough. I have seen it around here before. Aspects and Jeffrey on a set of mediums respectively, down there in the bottom 9. Tamburgo, again, as I say, the exception rather than the rule in the top 10. He's the only one on a set of medium compound of tyres. You should expect the medium runners to probably pit in around lap 10, lap 11, 7 laps on a set of softs. They'll probably manage around 30%, 35% tyre wear, anywhere in between that. But Mini League 2 is about to begin for round 3 of the championship. Good to see 19 viewers tuning into the stream. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the racing here out on track. as we see the final cars coming onto the grid now. That is Chaos joining at the back. And we're going to get going for 5 red lights very shortly indeed here, as we just wait for that one driver to join at the back. There's PMP Cam, who's joining in at the back there, and now we are about to get going finally for, unless somebody else is coming through, the 5 red lights, which aren't going to go out because there was a bit of a glitch in the lobby. I will preempt the 5 red lights. The EOS now turning up for the leader. 5 red lights about to go out here in Germany. Lights down, away we go. One of the starts, like Nexus Iceman bogging down off the start, loses the position to Cass, and it's only Ollie down into the lead through turn 1. Cass in second, jumping, could get 2 for 1 here. There's a little bit of contact in the background. Tamburgo, I think that is already at the race. So Tamburgo started 10th, already out of the race through turn 1. Not sure if there was contact with any other driver, but only Ollie, Cassie and Iceman run up towards the Parabolica for the first time, and only Ollie and Cassie now find it out for the lead of the race. We'll go on board with Nexus Iceman, see if he can try and go up the inside. Virus up his inside as well. TNO looking strong with PMP right at the start of the race. They all filter through the hairpin very nicely. There's been a bit of contact, bit of bumping and barging, bit of front wing damage there. I think that might have been from Lord Hulton on the left side end plate. It was Lord Hulton's left side end plate completely gone. Jeffrey and Mays find it out, swapping positions. Jeffrey up to 10th, Mays up to 11th. There's a lot going on, and we'll go back on board with the battle for the lead, because Cass now is actually in the lead of the race and actually got the run out of the hairpin and gets the move done. Oh, that is TNR Virus running wide. How on earth he's recovered that? It's beyond me. Vitinho, the Brazilian, goes up the inside for TTG. He's up to 4th. Cass then will come round the final 2 corners to lead the way at the end of lap 1. It's about a 7/10 lead early, and you'll have a look at how the drivers are getting on out on track. There is the track map facility on the right hand side of your screen. Cass then leads. Only Ollie makes a mistake out of turn 1. Iceman says thank you very much for that mistake. Virus is round in the background. I think we've got 3 wide between Frederick, King J and Atlas Copo, I think this is, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Vitinho just ahead of them. Frederick, King J fighting side by side, like a nearly Christmas livery going on there for Frederick in the TNR team. King J though, right on his outside line. Atlas Copo trying to get through. We'll watch this from Bear Remy's perspective. We now come down. Oh, and Atlas Copo, I think Bear Remy might have got a tap there on the back by Jeffrey possibly, as Atlas Copo has just lost position to Frederick. Frederick to P6, Atlas Copo down to P7. There's a bit of lag picking up, but nothing too major so far, which is good. And oh my god, Jeffrey down the inside. How on earth has he managed to cope that through the corner? Jesus Christ, Jeffrey going up the inside. Chaos looking a little bit wide there. There's a car off in the background. I think that was TNR Virus going right in the background. But it is Cass who leads the way for the PMP team. At the end of lap 2, he leads by 1.5 seconds. It's Iceman in second, and only Ollie in third. A lot of drama opening over the first 2 laps. Let's have a look then, and right on board with the position changes. There are the position changes on your screen. Chaos has gained them all, so he's up 9 positions. Jeffrey up 7. Lord Hulton has indeed came into the pits to repair that left side end plate damage that he picked up during the 3-wide battle coming through this corner, funny enough, last lap around. Right, let's just calm down a little bit and take our breath as Jeffrey and Bear Remy swap positions further down. We're on board then with only Ollie coming down towards the hairpin once again. Not going to go for the move though down the inside. However, there is 3 wide on the background. It's Chaos, Jeffrey and Bear Remy going for position. Jeffrey switching back on the inside. Lovely move there by the Dutchman, and he takes the position. He's up to P8. So Jeffrey has gained 2 positions this lap, past Bear Remy, and has gone past Chaos as well. Chaos still not giving up without a fight. He switches to the inside line. Jeffrey will have to give him the room. Didn't quite. I don't think it was really Chaos's move to go for. I think Jeffrey probably would have always stayed in front of him. He should have just backed off that. Bear Remy and Mays right in the background as well. Mays for TTG in 11th. Looking at how PMP are doing, of course the leaders here tonight, they've only got 3 drivers out on track. Cass currently in 1st. Regular down in 14th and Cam down in 17th. Not looking good for some of the PMP drivers coming up this stage, and that will probably all change at the end of this race as Aspects has left the session. Now there's a bit of lag contact there as Jeffrey has gone past Chaos around the outside through to turn 1, and now Chaos are in the slipstream. Might have been a little bit of a lag moment there, as I'm just trying to cope with the full track map and the action out on track at the same time. It can be a bit off-putting, but Cass leads the way 1.7 seconds. The battle between first and fifth, there is about 7 seconds separating the whole field. The top 5 at the stage as Chaos has gone past Jeffrey down into the hairpin, gives him a bit of a love tap, not like Love Island, and Jeffrey is down in position. Chaos getting past there very nicely indeed. Neon and Aspect swapping positions. Of course, Aspect can rejoin the session back if he has got a invite, which he has done. He's joining back. Neon, though, down the inside of Regular, has cut the corner slightly. Regular on the outside line through the Mercedes-Benz section. Good move by Regular to repay back the position. Oh, and there's a car off, and that is Vax Viking, who has lost control of his car. Front wing damage there for Vax Viking. He rejoins track safely. That front wing, though, is going to be quite costly. He will have to rejoin track in a safe manner. He lets through Virus and Oli just going through picture there. Vitinho and Iceman then are into the pits. I think we've missed a couple of pit stops actually out on track. Let's see who has pitted. Oli has, Frederick has, Cam has, and Lord Hulton has early on in this race. Right on board then with the battle for fourth, because it is all kicking off between Atlas, Copo, Chaos and Jeffrey. I wish I had a co-commentator, I don't. Atlas, Chaos and Jeffrey, 3 team representatives, Nexus, OWR and TTG, is trying catches during the session. Cam is lost the position. Jeffrey trying to go around the outside, trying to be the meat in the sandwich almost, trying to go around the outside of him. Not quite. As Jeffrey holds on to the position for fourth, and he's back on he's right on the back of Chaos, coming down now around the outside, possibly into turn 8. Not quite going to go for that move. Through then 9 and 10, and Cass still out in front by 5.4 seconds. But that really is a result of the pit stops that have been made. There's a lot of action happening out on track. Regular and Neon are going side by side, then into turn 11 towards Sachs Curve for the 5th time out on track. And Aspect's right on the back of this as well. The Irishman doing a good job for Nexus. The leader then is into the pits. So is King J, so is Chaos. Atlas Copo, I think, is in. Bear Remy is in as well. So, quite a lot of pit stops being made. Neon and Regular, they're pitting in lap 6. It's what you would have expected, I think, for the softs. I did predict them to go a little bit as King J is held up in the pit slightly by the 2 OWR drivers going past. And it looks like Cass has got out in a pretty clean spot with Oli and quite a good move there, I've got to be honest, by Oli to go around the outside. Of course, Cass just lining up for the DRS. A bit of a tactical decision that by the PMP driver. The Dane is going to look down the inside. He's forced to the outside line, but it's always going to be Cass's move. Cass has swept past Oli. Or has he? Oli's sticking it back up the inside at the hairpin. Not quite. Cass is through and he's up to P4. Iceman and Vitinho, who have already been into the pits. Vitinho around the outside has jumped Iceman as a position there for 6th position. So Vitinho, the Brazilian, is up into 6th. Iceman down in 7th. The only driver out on a set of hards at this stage is Lord Hulton. He's on a set of hard compound of tyres down there in 16th position. Not at a bit of a disadvantage, if I've got to be honest. May's still yet to come into the pit from a set of soft compound of tyre. Oh, I thought that was Iceman just running off into the gravel slightly. He has picked back on, he's right on the back, as I say, of Vitinho right at this stage. Mays is into the pits for the TTG team. So he will rejoin, I would expect, around Regular Virus sort of area, if I've got to be honest. Vitinho just coming past the camera position now on lap 7. It's going by quite quick here in Hockenheim. It's Jeffrey who leads by 5.9 seconds. Still yet to come into the pits though. Aspects in second, another one still yet to come into the pits. But the battles are beginning to develop in behind. It's Iceman and Vitinho that will run on board with the Brazilian and the Brit. Iceman and Vitinho running down then towards, through Parabolica and then towards the hairpin once again. Don't be confused, by the way, if I do say Parabolica. There is a corner name called Parabolica, and that is through the little kink at turn 5. That is just before the hairpin, so the left-hander kink on the straight is what I'm trying to say with that. Neon is down the inside of Maze. Maze, I think, trying to defend the inside line. Neon, though, tries to defend the inside line with all his might. Maze, with a much better exit on slightly fresher tyres, has got past on Neon, but Neon right around the outside maybe. Nexus against TTG here for 12th and 13th. Of course, every single position that you see out on track tonight will be a point scoring position, and I will remind you of the point system after the first race. Neon right on the back of Maze, still trying to fight his way through. There is a lot of action happening. Aspects and Jeffrey still yet to come into the pits. The leaders are on to lap 8. These guys are about to go on to lap 8 though. In the meantime, it is Neon and Maze for 12th and 13th. We're right on board with that POV footage, and we'll actually have a look at the mini-map. And you can really see some of the DRS zones actually out on the track. I forgot they've actually added the... there are 3 DRS zones on this track and not 2, like I said earlier. So I do apologise for being actually incorrect there. Of course, they added the DRS zone down the straight. Speaking of DRS, Chaos has waltzed past King J for 8th position. And Iceman down the inside of Vittino. Tried to look for the move down the inside, but the Brazilian having none of that, and Vittino is through, and he's up to 5th position once again. Of course, the top 2 yet to still pit in. Virus and Regular changing position further down the field. Neon and Maze's battle just ahead. Virus has got past Regular, and he's up to 14th position. So the TNR driver gaining a position on PMP. PMP really need to gain something out of this race, because they're in 3rd, 15th, and now 16th, as Lord Hulton has just been overtaken by Cam. I think that might have been a move down the inside towards turn 8, which was the Mercedes-Benz section. Do excuse me if you do hear me drinking out on track. Aspects and went wide. The Irishman rejoins track. Cass is going to be up the inside though. I think he'll have this move. Aspects won't give up without a fight, but Cass is through and he's up to 2nd position. And of course, he is in the net lead of the race as well, with only 6/10 down. There he is, right on the back of shot. There is Aspects now trying to get past Cass. Cass with no DRS. Only then beginning to close in from the net battle for the lead. For 3rd and 4th currently out on track as you see it. Iceman and Vittino once again. Iceman not attempting the move. Chaos has waltzed past Frederick, I should say, down the straight, but he misses his braking point. Frederick will force him on the outside line. Chaos rejoins track in front of him. I think he was going to rejoin track in front of him. May, to be honest, I think might just have to give that position up, if I've got to be honest. Frederick, though, is down to 8th as Chaos rejoins track in front of him, and he's joined in 7th. Maze and Virus change positions once again. Virus now looking towards the outside line for the TNR team. Wants to know all the way around the outside of turn 8. Surely not. Maze, though, says thank you very much for that one. He ran wide slightly there, Virus, and Maze is through, and he's up to P13 once again. As I repeat, out on the stream here tonight, every point scoring, every position that you see is a point scoring finish for the drivers out on track. Aspects beginning to lose time then to Jeffrey. The 2 behind, Oli and Cass are fighting out for the net battle for the lead at this stage. Really nice liveries on these cars as well. Oli and the TNR team going for like an Alpha, like a Sauber livery almost with that car. Cass in the background of shot. In the foreground of shot now, we're on board with him. He's in the orange livery. His Aspects within the purple Nexus colours. Cass tries to force it down the inside. Aspects having none of that, cuts him off at the last opportunity. Good defensive driving there though from Nexus Aspects. Just got to watch out for any moves that might be made behind. Frederick in the meantime was battling with Chaos. The 2 of them just made a slight bit of contact, but it's nothing more than banging wheels there for the drivers out on track. Of course, we'll try and if you do have any POV footage, if there has been any accidents and we've missed it on the screen, do send it to your team owners, drivers, if you are going to watch this further, if you are going to watch this back as a repeated stream. Jeffrey then still leads the way. Aspects in 2nd. I would imagine the pit stops will be made next lap around, maybe lap 11, lap 12. The guys do have to pit, of course. Cass and Oli though right on the back of Aspects for 2nd. Aspects taking turn 1 a lot better there. Cass not going to be close enough then down for the move for turn 2. But Jeffrey 3.3 seconds, and Aspects beginning to drag them along actually. Cass and Oli in behind. It's 5/10 of a second separating the net battle for the lead at this moment in time. 3rd and 4th out on track, as now Cass will try and get past Aspects once again. Aspects takes the defensive line on the inside. Only Oli completely misses the hairpin there. Just went a little bit wide off the corner. And now Cass and Iceman and Vittino get going at it once again in the background. The Brazilian, as I say, there's a lot of action that I'm trying to provide for you guys here tonight. So if I don't go on board with any of the battles that you want to be seeing, then I'm really, really sorry. Bear Remy and Atlas Coco have changed position, as have Virus and Neon. Virus is up to 12th round the outside of Neon there, as Regular has run off track. Maze now down on the inside line. PMP and TTG, of course, representing their own battles in the PMP team event. Maze around the outside of turn 8. Fantastic move, and he pulls this off, and he has. Maze, with the move of the race so far, is through, and he's up to P14, but here comes Regular back up the inside of turn 11, and Regular's back through. Good driving there from Regular, turning a negative into a positive. He's through, and he's up to P14. Jeffrey then is into the pit on a set of soft compound of tyre. He will go to the end, of course. But that means the battle for the lead really getting going between Aspects, who probably will pit in this lap around. Only Ollie and Cass right on the back of each other. Vittino and Iceman having their own private battle, not really getting any closer. And the tow being completely buggered, I think, by the DRS train that is formed. Next Aspects, only Ollie and Cass not really catching there on Aspects, may have been running slightly less ERS. Looking at Iceman actually there, 72% of ERS coming at the hairpin. He can use that up to good effect behind Vittino at this stage. Frederick and King J beginning to get a little bit closer as well for a battle for 7th and 8th. Once again, Neon and Virus having a bit of a squabble. The Nexus driver against the TNR driver here. Virus is on the inside line and has taken the position. So Virus is through and he's up to P12. Neon back down to P13. And in the background, Regular Maze trying to this time go on the switch back on the inside. Trying to go around the outside of the corner now is Maze. And he's still in P15 right on the back of Regular. But Cass, now, could he go for a move down the inside of turn 1? That'll just be very, very brave if he tried that. He doesn't. Nexus Aspect still going out on track. Doesn't want to relinquish the lead of the race. Thing with the undercut as well, as Cass is down the inside on only Ollie. Good move there from Cass, and he's through, and he's up to P2 out on track. There are the drivers then out on track. You can really see how wide out the field is spread. Neon has came into the pits, maybe for fastest lap. Of course, no fastest lap point here in the team event. Neon then is into the pits to maybe replace some front wing. Yeah, looks like he might have had a front wing change there. He's into the pits and he'll drop behind back to Viking. Yeah, Neon will be out in last position, currently out on track. 18th position to you and me. But Aspect still leading the way. There's been a bit of a lull in the action. Cass just trying to size up Only Ollie. And in fact, Only Ollie has actually got past Cass. We've totally missed that. Only Ollie is now to essentially the net lead of the race. So TNR could be really getting the points here. It's going to be throwing the team standings wide open. Hopefully we can get you an updated team standings for the second race in Singapore. Of course, that will follow after this. Cass then down the inside. He's going to have to try it down the inside of turn 1. Only Ollie bravely backs off right at the last moment and passes through the Dane on the Norwegian. He's up to P2 out on track. Aspects then beginning to get away, but look at the guys in behind. The Brazilian and the Brit, Vittino and Iceman chasing each other down, beginning to get dragged into a possible four-way battle for the lead once Aspects does come into the pit. Only Ollie is waltzing past Cass though down towards the hairpin. Cass is going to try and see this up the inside. The owner for PMP up the inside forces Only Ollie off track a little bit. He gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think that might have to be removed. Only Ollie though trying to fight it down the inside into turn 8 towards the Mercedes-Benz section. Just locks up slightly, forces Cass wide. Cass on the inside line has held the position and held his nerve through the corner there for the position, and he's still in second. This is all helping out Nexus Aspect, and it is in fact helping the guys out behind as well, because Vittino, Iceman, Chaos, Frederick and possibly King J could all have a shout to get in the podium here. Lap 15 about to begin. Nexus Aspect still going out on track. He will get disqualified, you know. He will get disqualified for not having regulation. Hopefully he does pit in very late on the day. It's a bit of a weird strategy, if I've got to be honest, from the Nexus driver. Not complaining whatsoever. Of course, if you do go deeper into the race with a bit of a gap beginning to tell, it can really find out the driver, which is good to see. Vittino though right on the back of Only Ollie. Cass has dropped Only Ollie in the last lap there. Vittino now, Iceman and Chaos, take your pick out of this one. Looks like Vittino has gone through and Only Ollie as now Chaos tries to get through on his teammate. He could try for a 2-for-1. Only Ollie realises it's coming, forced out wide slightly there. Only Ollie Chaos on a set of medium compound of tyres. Now down the inside into turn 7. A little bit of contact there. A little bit of bumping and barging. We want to see clean racing here. And Chaos around the outside of Onioli. They both make contact. A little bit of a half spin there from Onioli, I should say. Chaos has got the move done. And Iceman trying to repay the favour as well. Onioli now stuck in a bit of a Nexus sandwich. Iceman down the inside. Not going for the move there. The Nexus team really coming on strong towards the end of the race with Chaos and Aspects. With Iceman. Aspects then is still out in front. Into lap 16 we go. He does have to pit. Cass in second. Now fighting for the lead of the race with Vittino in third. Chaos in fourth. Onioli and Iceman. Let's watch this for fifth and sixth. Iceman then trying to go down the inside into turn 2. Is he close enough? No, we'll wait for the DRS down towards 3 and 4. Aspects then hanging on out in front, but for how long? Because Cass is 5/10 off him down the straight. Now 4/10. He opens up the DRS. He's beginning to get a little bit closer. Not quite going to be close enough. However, two battles that are kicking off. King J and Frederick and Onioli and Iceman. Oh! And King J goes into the back. I think that was King J going into the back. It was. King J going into the back of Onioli. I think he had a lock up there. He's lost his right side end plate. That will let him struggle towards the end of the race. Here we are on the penultimate lap. There's a lot beginning to happen here out on track. I do appreciate that you guys will be probably screaming at your televisions telling me to go on board with this, go on board with that. I'll try and give you as much action as possible, but Cass trying to look around the outside of the Sachs curve. Aspect is trying his hardest to try and defend this position. But with Cass now under pressure, Frederick and King J swap positions. Goes with the right side end player. Aspect finally into the pits. He probably had a notification come up saying he will be disqualified for regulation failure. Cass then leads on to the final lap of the race. But this has brought Vittino in for possible first win here in Mini League for TTG. Always Chaos in third. Chaos is in third for Nexus, I should say. Iceman in fourth. So Nexus are pretty much right up there with some of the drivers. Aspects is coming out of the pits, I think ahead of Virus. No, just behind Virus actually. So Aspects coming out behind Virus, it seems. Yeah, he's rejoined in 12th. Chaos then down the inside, forcing the issue. Vittino trying to go around the outside on the traction. He realised that he was coming. Chaos had the car in front, just chopped him off. There's 3 wide in the background though between Onioli, King J. All hammers blazing here with Frederick and Jeffrey just in behind as well. The Scandinavian team trying to get in on the act as well. Jeffrey's not too far out of this either. He's on a set of soft compound tyre. If only he pitted a couple of laps earlier. But we'll ride on both the leaders then, coming round through the final couple of corners now. It is going to be Cass taking it out on track, of course. The penalties will probably change it all. I will try and bring you the updated standings, of course, for race 2 as well. But Cass, he had to do it the hard way, but PMP are going to get their win. Cass takes the win here from Chaos in second. He picks up a load of penalties. Vittino and Iceman jump him. Onioli leading over trainer cars with King J, and in fact a lot of changes there. Jeffrey finishing out. Virus has crashed late on. That is through Sachs curve. That is actually through turn 14. He's on the left hand side. Was the contact with another driver maybe? I'm not sure unless he got caught on the curb. Cam right on the back of Maze towards the end of the race. We'll try and bring you the full rundown of the order in just a second. Cam running out wide slightly. May have just cost the position. He did. He had a 3-second time penalty anyways. Lord Holton coming across the line in 15th. Vax Viking coming across the line in 16th. And Neon for the Nexus team will be coming across the line in 17th. Virus with that late DNF does not pick up any points. So Cass takes a Vittino second, Iceman in third. Hopefully somebody is already working on the live standings for race 2, and it looks like Neon has actually got a puncture coming through the final couple of corners, has he? No, he hasn't. He's been caught somewhere out on track, running onto the marbles. Neon then coming round the final corner, and he will be coming across the line to finish eventually. Oh no, he won't. He'll be coming, well, he DNFs right at the line when he shouldn't have really posed for the cameras. He should have just brought it across the line because it would have been extra points for his team. Guess karma works in many different forms and ways there. But it is Cass who takes the win for the PMP team. It's a third win in the row for PMP here in the Mini League. All 3 of their drivers so far have taken all wins in the Mini League this series so far. Of course, Singapore's still yet to come up. There's going to be a lot of changes, I'm sure, to the standings. Any incident, any POV footage, do send it in to your owners, by the way, as well. because where there's no footage, then it can't get investigated. It's as simple as that. Let me run you down the full running order then from the first race here. Cass takes the win by 1.6 seconds from Bettino in second. A bit of change up in the order. Iceman finishing in third. Chaos from 19th. Good job from Chaos. Takes my driver of the day vote, I think, for fourth there. Jeffrey in fifth. King J in sixth with Frederick in seventh. Onioli in 8th, Beremi in 9th, Atlas Copo in 10th, TNR and OWR looking quite strong there within the top 10, same with TTG with 3 drivers, and Nexus with 2 drivers. PMP really losing out there. Aspect regular 11th and 12th, Maze, Cam, Lord Hulton finishing in the top 15, Vax Viking in 16th, Neon apparently saying he had difficulty with his cars. Well, if only he kept it in a straight line towards the end, he would have been picking up 4 points there for his team. 4 points could make or break Mini League 2 for the Nexus team. Let's have a look at some of the comments coming through. Yeah, bring up the spectator map. That's what I've been trying out. Hopefully you guys want to give me positive feedback on that. It is the first time I've actually used the feature within a commentary. Bit of baptism of fire, but there we go. We are then going towards Singapore, and I will end this stream here. I will get back up in about a minute's time. So until then, I've been James Head. Thank you very much for watching Mini League 2 in Germany, and until, well, about 30 seconds time, goodbye.